Hi, I'm Shannon Volk. I'm with eXp Realty, and today Paul Galloway and I are going to be taking you on a journey through Soldiers Pass and through some of the different subdivisions within Soldiers Pass. And right now we are standing within Vista Montana, which are condos that are right behind Whole Foods. And they were built in three different phases from the 1980s, 1990s, and they completed in 2011. They range in size from between about 1,200 square feet to about 2,300 square feet. And there's about 35 units in here, and they go for anywhere between about 500 to about 750,000. Some of them do have multi-levels. There's a community center with a pool, and the HOA is about between $200 and $300 a month, and they have a minimum of 6-month rentals here. The Vista Montana subdivision is located off of Vista Montana Road, right off of Soldiers Pass, and you just head west. This is the first phase with wood panels on the exterior built in the 1980s. The first phase only had carports. If you want to have a garage in this subdivision, it would have to be either in the second or the third phase. As we transition over to the second phase, you'll notice that the exterior transitions from wood panels to stucco and more of an adobe Santa Fe look. The HOA covers water, trash pickup, use of the swimming pool, community clubhouse, as well as exterior common areas. There is currently one unit on the market. It's actually quite large. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, just under 2,300 square feet. If you have questions or what might be interested, please reach out and connect with us. We'd love to help you out. There are some spots dedicated throughout the community for guests, and now we're about to pass by the pool in the clubhouse. So we're leaving Vista, Montana, and heading back out to Soldiers Pass. There are some private offices like legal offices, doctor's offices, and we're also about to pass by the corporate Pink Jeep Tours office. We're now heading over to Casa Contenta, which is off of Soldiers Pass, and you make a right on Calle Diamante Road. Here we are going through the gates of Casa Contenta, one of Sedona's premier luxury gated communities in West Sedona. It's located just north of 89A off of Soldiers Pass. There's about 99 home sites located within this community. The dog park is across the street. It's really easy access to shopping, galleries, hiking trails. The HOA covers all community amenities as well as sanitation collection. The entire grounds are tastefully landscaped. Prices range from about $1 million to $3 million. The design guidelines allow for creativity for each homeowner, yet preserving the quality of the Casa Contenta lifestyle.
This is Casa Contenta subdivision. I love it because of the location. It's behind Whole Foods. They're all high-end homes. It's gated. They did building envelopes versus lots in here. So instead of buying a quarter-acre lot, you just buy the envelope in the middle. That leaves all the common area, people don't fence, and it leaves it open for the animals to meander through. It was a kind of a new zoning technique when I first moved here, and ended up doing subdivisions like that in town that are really beautiful like this.
So we are on the outside of Casa Contenta, right outside the gates. And as you can see right there, that building is Casa Contenta's clubhouse, which also has a pool as well as tennis courts. We're back out on Soldiers Pass Road. To the left is the dog park. Posse Grounds is right back there as well. And there's a beautiful trail called Sunrise Trail to the left as well. And as we are driving up here, we are about to make a right on Painted Cliffs Drive, which will be taking you through a tour of Northern Shadows subdivision. We are turning into Northern Shadows subdivision. The gate right there is Casa Contenta's private second exit out of the community. So Northern Shadows has about 35 properties. They range in size on average between 3 and 4,000 square feet. Price ranges start at 1.5 million. There's still a couple of privately owned lots that have not been built on, and right here with all these trucks, you can see that house is being built over to the side. Most of the lots are between a half acre to 2 acre. The homes were built primarily in the 1980s, 1990s, and the early 2000s, but as we just passed, there are some homes that are still being constructed there. There are some homes that do back Forest Service. It has a relatively low HOA, $75 annually. They do have a minimum of 30-day rentals in this community. Some of the homes built here were built by Don Woods, the design group, and some of the homes were even featured in Sedona magazine. The utilities in Northern Shadows are city sewer, APS for electric, Unisource for natural gas, and there is a privately owned water company, but it serves the public, which is Arizona Water Company. There is one house on the market at the taping of this, and it is really at an incredible value, priced at under $400 a square foot. If you want to know more about it, please reach out. We would love to be able to talk to you about it. There is a diverse range of styles, as you can see, in design for the homes here in Northern Shadows. Here we're coming on a better shot of that new construction. It looks to be like a very modern looking home. And some of the other homes here are just completely nestled behind huge, beautiful trees. And this house is perched up, so it really just takes advantage of the views behind. We're now leaving Northern Shadows. We'll be heading back out to Soldiers Pass Road and heading over to Sedona Heights. On the left side of the road here is that trail that I had talked about, Sunrise Trail. And to the left of that is perched up is Posse Grounds Park. So it's really close to a lot of different amenities. Up here on the right, we're going to be turning right on Moonlight Drive, which will take us to Sedona Heights. These are some of my personal favorite views from the whole Soldiers Pass area, because you just feel like you're in a bowl of red rock. The car parked here on the right is a service that many people use to get transported directly to some of the hiking trails back here, because Soldiers Pass has become pretty strict on not allowing people to park at the trailheads because it is a private neighborhood. We're now turning into Sedona Heights.
How you doing? Paul Galloway here. We're in Sedona Heights subdivision, and there's 16 lots in here, I believe, and homes range from about 3,000 to 4,500 square feet, right in there. It's off of Soldiers Pass, beautiful. You can see the views are incredible to the north, which is nice. Quiet back here. One of the most beautiful areas of Sedona. Just quiet back here. You can hike everywhere. Whole Foods is right on the corner. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you.
When you leave Sedona Heights, there's a private gate right there that's just really for an exclusive 3-lot neighborhood. They're all ranging in size from about 3 to 10 acres. Okay, so we're about to head back out to Soldiers Pass Road, and what I'm going to be showing you right now are these are just some more of these private estates on acreage, and they have insane views. And in a moment, I will be turning my camera so that you could see that there is now a beautiful walking path that has been built for pedestrians. We personally love this trail and use it quite frequently if we're not in the mood to do hiking elevations and just want something that's a simple path with beautiful views. We've now turned on Cline Rd, and Cline Rd is one of the few areas in the whole Soldiers Pass that allows short-term rentals. So on Cline Rd, if you have a house here, you're most likely going to have some pretty spectacular views of Coffee Pot and Sugarloaf.
We are on the top of Cline Rd. It was a small subdivision in here. It was owned by the editor of the Flagstaff newspaper, Mr. Cline. And then Ann Miller, the famous movie star from Hollywood, bought it all. And then she had a house down here. And then I bought this land, 5 acres, in roughly 2005, and built that 9,800 square foot house there. It was a big 5 acre lot. It goes over a bridge over that wash. That's Sugarloaf, that rock. It's a great hike, only about a 20-minute hike to the top. But it's, again, really pretty area. Nice, beautiful, quiet area. You can do short-term rental up here. One of the only areas in Soldiers Pass that you can short-term rent.
And this private trail will take you out to Sugarloaf Loop. You can head out to Teacup Trail, as well as Coffee Pot Rock trails, all from your private trailhead. This property is under construction and we had to stop to digest the views. Properties on Cline Rd do not come on the market very often. The last one was sold in 2021 for $2.3 million. These estates start around 3,000 square feet and, as Paul mentioned, go all the way up to over 9,000 square feet. This property was designed by Bob McIntyre, who designed and was the architect for Tlaquepaque. All of the properties are on acreage as well. So as we leave Cline Rd, we're going to go across the street to Little Scout Lane. Similar to Cline Rd, Little Scout Lane has no HOA. It does allow short-term rentals. These are estate homes on acreage property ranging in size from 3,000 square feet to well over 5,000 square feet. The homes on Little Scout have private water, some of them having their own well or shared wells. They are on septic and on city electric. These are multi-million-dollar homes. There is one home on the market right now. If you have questions on this area, would like to learn more about the property that is on the market, you can reach out to Paul and or me, and we would love to be able to answer your questions. Some of the property owners here have put their own private gates just to kind of keep that ultimate privacy on their own property. You will find homes in here designed by William Toll as well as Eric Brandt and other notably great architects and builders. The majority of the properties here were built in the 1980s and 1990s. The landscaping in the front yard tends to be quite lush, and there are just spectacular views here. Some of the properties do back Forest Service. So as we leave Scout Road, we're going to head back out to Soldiers Pass, where you will see more of the walking path. As I mentioned, Paul and I really enjoy this trail because it just has amazing views. And when you just want to get out and walk and not necessarily have the elevation and have a flat path, this is a great path to walk on.
All right, there's 34 homes. What's this, Rim Shadows?
Shadow Rock.
Shadow Rock, sorry. Shadow Rock. See the sinkhole over there? It's kind of cool. They were dynamiting in town, then years ago that fell through its big hole in the rock. But anyway, 34 lots. There's a house in here on the market for 4.2 million. Houses are like 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. Nice big lots. Again, Soldiers Pass area, super quiet. Killer views. Started in the 80s, but there are some new nice homes in there and some older ones. Look at that view though. It's fucking sick. You know? It's a killer view.
Shadow Rock is on a looped road. It is west on Soldiers Pass at Soldiers Pass Road in Shadow Rock. It's north of Cline Road and has pretty just spectacular views. This neighborhood has city sewer. It's with a private water company that actually serves the public, Arizona Water. And Unisource is the natural gas company. Short-term rentals are not allowed. There are currently 3 properties on the market ranging from 1.5 to 4.3 million. Please reach out. We'd love to connect if you have questions on any of the properties. Several of the homes border National Forest Service, have pretty stunning views of Coffee Pot, and some of the homes have been featured in Sedona Monthly. And the trails from Shadow Rock are Teacup Trail, Skid Mark Trail, as well as the Mouse Finger Trail. So we are in the subdivision of the Pot Cottages, and there are about 35 different townhomes, and they were built by the famous Phil Morris and Don Woods, and at one time they were like the place to be, and they were featured on Sunset Magazine. It is a gated community. The townhomes in here go for approximately between $1 and $1.4 million. They range in size from 1,700 to 3,200 square feet. The HOA does cover landscaping. There's a full-time caretaker for the landscaping. There's a heated pool that's used between May and October. And there's tennis courts as well. The neighborhood also sits right below Coffee Pot, and it's nestled right here in National Forest, and it just borders National Forest. So when you enter the gates at Coffee Pot Cottages, it reminds me a lot of Casa Contenta, not necessarily the style of the homes, but the landscaping. Both communities have a full-time caretaker that tends to the landscaping, and it is just perfectly well manicured. Everything is in its place. Everything is pruned, and it's just absolutely beautiful. There really is just a great vibe throughout this entire community. At the time of this recording, there are no properties actively on the market, but if it is a place that you would love to find a property in, please reach out as we can keep an eye on things as they come on the market for you. Coffee Pot Cottages even has its own private small park that we are about to drive past. The community is gated, and it has one way in, and it also has one way out, which is a different exit than the entry. That's the exit that we're passing by. So as we are nearing one side of the street, we're going to now turn so you can see the other side of the street with those spectacular coffee pot views. So if hiking is your passion, you're going to have Teacup Trail and Skid Mark Trail right out your doorstep from here. Coffee Pot Cottages, private tennis courts, and pool sit right there at the base of Coffee Pot. I could not imagine having a better place to sit in the sun by the pool or to play tennis. So we are standing in Rim Shadows. There are 31 properties here. They have their own private park. The homes range from about $1.2 to $4 million. Average home size is about 3,500 to 4,500 square feet. It's not really short-term rental friendly. 6-month minimum rentals. And homes were built here primarily in the 1980s and 1990s. There's a couple of lots that are left that are privately owned that haven't been built on yet, but primarily it's built out. Don't remember if I mentioned it's 6-month minimum rentals here, and the HOA dues here are about between $800 and $900 a year. Rim Shadows also has its own private park, which is what we were just passing by. We wanted to show you what some of the styles of the homes look like in Rim Shadows and how they differ and compare to each other, as well as what they look like in comparison to some of the other neighborhoods that we have shown you throughout Soldiers Pass. You can definitely see that the majority of the homes here have space between them, and they have pretty spectacular views here too. You can access Teacup Trail, Soldiers Pass Trail, as well as Jordan Trail is at the very just from a few steps away from this neighborhood of Soldiers Pass. And again, this little neighborhood is a loop all on Rim Shadows Road. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of these homes have built very long driveways to set themselves back away from the road so they can take full advantage of having their privacy and using their backyards for some of the most amazing views. This whole neighborhood does back Forest Service if you are on the northern part of the road. So again, they have direct access to the hiking trails. Just like Coffee Pot Cottages, there are currently no homes on the market, but if this is an area that you feel like you really want to move to, please reach out. We'd love to connect, and we'll keep an eye out on what's happening in this area in case something does come on the market. Well, we are leaving Rim Shadows and we're heading over to Canyon Shadows, which is right near Forest Service trails. It is on the far northeast side of Soldiers Pass.
This is Canyon Shadows. There's a really nice trailhead right there. Remember I showed you the sinkhole a little bit ago. That's where you can park and walk to the sinkhole. And there's 21 properties in there.
Yes.
They're about half to 1 acre lots, like the other home areas in Soldiers Pass. Just another little nook and cranny. It's a circular street, so it circles back. It's a loop road, but it's really beautiful back here. I mean, Soldiers Pass is incredible. I mean, nice big homes. They started in the 80s, so you got some old homes with some new homes. There's still some lots in here available that sell for about 600 grand, I think. And
Just like some of the other subdivisions, there are many homes in canyon shadows that back to Forest Service. Like Paul mentioned, you have the sinkhole right out your back door. There's Teacup Trail. There's also Jordan Trail. If you want to go further up and do a little bit more elevation, you have Soldiers Pass Trail. Plus, you have Adobe Jack Trail and the Grand Central Trail, along with many others. When I'm driving through canyon shadows, I sometimes feel like the architecture is very different than what you typically find in Arizona or even Sedona. This particular lot sold this year for $560,000. It is on the inner side of the Canyon Shadows Loop, so it does not back Forest Service, but as you can see, it has some pretty great views. And here we are just about to finish the Canyon Shadows Loop. As we leave Canyon Shadows, we're going to go back around and show you there is a National Forest trailhead. The city and the subdivision has gotten really tight around allowing people to park at the trailhead and, you know, create a lot of traffic congestion in the neighborhood. Now there is a Sedona shuttle that will drop off and pick people up at the trailhead for free. It's a great service because it allows the enjoyment of the trails without congesting the neighborhood full of traffic. We are going to go head over to the last little neighborhood. It is a 6-lot development that is located on the west side of Soldiers Pass Road. It's in between Cline Road and Shadow Rock. It's called Sunrise Cliff. Lots are approximately an acre. Most of the properties already have single-family homes. There's only one left. Homes on average are around 4,000 square feet. There was one owner that originally built the first home in the 1980s. And then what he did was he subdivided his land and created these different parcels. And the rest of the parcels were sold off and purchased between 2000 and 2012. So we're now heading out of the Soldiers Pass neighborhood. And when I turn from here, what you see right there, those people walking, that was that Sunrise Trail that I had originally talked about when we first started this tour. It does take you on a couple different trails. You can head up to Posse Grounds Park from there, or just stay a little bit and hug the road a little bit closer, and you'll also make it down to the dog park. Whole Foods is right at the base of 89A in Soldiers Pass, so it's really awesome. You can walk to get your groceries. There's a couple of restaurants in here. So if you had to choose, what would be your favorite little subdivision within Soldiers Pass? Please let us know in the comments below. If you like this content, please like it and subscribe.